Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you on this Hindu analysis video in the morning. These videos come in the evening. The MCQ lessons they are taken by Mahipal sir, but I think Mahipal sir will not be taking that course there. So I will be recording those lessons, and I have recorded 27th and 28th of December of lesson. So that is available on the premium platform. But new announcement will also be there regarding the MCQ course there. So be hopeful about that, and that is going to be a very important help for all of you. So let's start here. One important article is there for anti-defection law issue, and other details are also there. So these two numbers are given. If you have any query, any issues there, then you can call here, and PDF you will get on Telegram channel, whose link is given on the Facebook group here. So here you can send me the request. First issue: India records less than 100 tiger deaths for the first time in 3 years. You see, every 4 years the census comes for tigers. In 14 it was around 2214 tigers, and in 18 the report which was released in 2019 July, the numbers were fixed at 2967. Means it's a good jump, and it's a very good news that the population of tigers is up by a third number. So that's very good. Now about the data of their deaths. Total 95 tiger deaths were there, and in this 95, 84 cases of tiger deaths and 11 cases of seizures. Means where the dead body is found somewhere and that is seized. So total 95 only, and that is the lowest number in many years. In 2018, 100 deaths were there. In 17, 115 deaths were there. In 16, 122 deaths were there. So that means the number is declining for tiger deaths every year, and that's a very good news. If we talk about the conservation of tigers, this is first of all the species in India which are protected, where the specific focus was given on the conservation. In 1972, the Wildlife Protection Act came. Indira Gandhi took very important initiatives here. In 1973, the National Tiger Conservation Authority was established, the main body for tiger conservation. So it was one of the first animals to be officially protected there, and the conservation started. Today 50 tiger reserves are there, and it is spread in around 75,000 square kilometer area. So that's a great news. And Madhya Pradesh, which is having the highest number of tigers in the country, there 31 deaths occurred this year. So that is also the highest number, and followed by Maharashtra, where 18 deaths were there. Karnataka, another state with high tiger population, 12 deaths were there. Now see, deaths were also recorded from a non-tiger bearing state like Gujarat. What we find in Gujarat: Asiatic lion. Okay, the Gir National Park is there, and only place where you will find the Asiatic lion in India. So Gujarat is famous for that, and that Kathiawar Peninsula where these lions are found. But you will not find tigers in that area. Why? There is a single reason, that two big predators, they do not live in a single area, whether there will be Asiatic lions or there will be tigers or any other big predator. So normally that rule is applied everywhere, and it's a natural law. Next issue: Science Congress 107th edition to commence today in Bengaluru. Very important issue. Every year the Science Congress happens, and in recent years many embarrassing issues have been there. And last year's ISC, which was there in Punjab, lovely University Jalandhar, where G. Nageshwara Rao, the then Vice Chancellor of Andhra University, asserted that Kauravas of Mahabharata were born of stem cell technology, test tube baby science, and Rama and Ravana had fought with guided missiles there. So those were some unproved, and according to today's science, illogical things. So maybe those things were there. We did not know about that. But it is the Science Congress. It is not the mythological historical conference there, where we boast of those things there. Maybe those things were there, but talking about those things which you cannot prove today in front of those scientists, foreign delegates, and important personalities, think tanks, who have given their lives for the researchers and the scientific approach there. So it is laughable for those people and it hurts them a lot. So saying that stem cell technology guided missiles were there and they were flying in their planes and all. So we do not find any evidences there. These are mythological stories according to today's science there. Till that time these things are not proved, we have to call them mythology. That is the main issue. Maybe some people are hurt when we call them mythology, but that's the truth. It doesn't matter where you believe in these things or not, but scientific approach is something where something is not proved. Till that time that is a hypothesis or a mythology. So these kind of events, they are not repeated in the science congress there. Utmost care is taken this time, because for the last 2-3 years this has been a major embarrassment for the science congress authorities there. And some people belonging to some particular political groups or parties or some other subscriptions, they are trying to put those things as facts there without any supportive evidence. So that's the problem, and it is the major issue for GS paper 3 there. Okay, next, India's Arabica output at all-time low. You see, in India, Arabica and Robusta, two important varieties are there. Some other varieties may also be found, but these two are important. Arabica was introduced in Karnataka region by Baba Budan, a Muslim seer. He traveled to Makkah and he brought this coffee plant there in Karnataka, and in Baba Budan Hills he planted them. So this way this area became iconic area for the coffee plantation, and in Karnataka mainly the coffee is grown. Majorly these are small farmers, and 80% of our production is exported to Germany, France and these countries. And I will tell you about some other details, but before that, this information, this is a disappointing information, where it was 1.5 lakh tons of yield 5 years ago. Today, means the last year production was 80,000 tons only, and that is very, very disappointing, because the poor farmers are gonna hit badly here. This year around 50% decline is there in the yield because of torrential rains, floods and landslides. Because the coffee orchards are there in the hilly regions and on the slopy regions, so the landslide and the torrential rains, they were a bigger menace there. Indian coffee is majorly grown in shade area, and it is called the monsoonal coffee. So it is very famous, but you see these devastating events, they have declined the yield there. So sizable chunk of plantation and these orchards are destroyed, and majorly hit areas are Chikmagaluru, Hassan, Kodagu and Wayanad district, where the major production happens every year. Okay, so that's the issue. And if we talk about the traditional area, then Karnataka, the major area where the headquarter for Coffee Board of India is also there. So Karnataka, Wayanad area, Kodagu, Chikmagaluru areas of Karnataka. Sorry, Wayanad is there in Kerala. Okay, so I made a mistake here. Kodagu, Chikmagaluru, these are in Karnataka, and in Tamil Nadu regions are there. So these are the traditional areas, and especially this area where the coffee plantation happens. Non-traditional areas, Araku Valley in Andhra Pradesh, that's a very important scenic area, a hill station, and there they are growing good amount of coffee. And in Odisha also some areas are there in the hilly region. So in the Eastern Ghats, these regions are found where non-traditional coffee areas are prevalent today. And in Northeast region, especially in Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya and Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland area. So there also coffee is grown, and in Assam the tea is the major crop there, but coffee is also grown. So these are some non-traditional areas. Arabica initially was very popular, but the coffee rust issue became a bigger menace, because the Arabica coffee is very much vulnerable to the coffee rust menace. So alternative robust species of coffee, which is named as Robusta, that was introduced, and another hybrid between Liberica and Arabica. They are rust tolerant hybrid varieties, so they became popular. So right now they are also grown heavily in India. So that's the issue. Coffee Board of India works under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So that may be asked. It was established by an act of parliament in 1942. Okay, and the traditional duties are promotion, sale, consumption of coffee in India and abroad. Okay, and they do coffee researches. Financial assistance is given to establish small coffee growers and working condition of laborers. All these issues are prevalent, and for many years they are struggling a lot because of the low prices, and maybe some companies are earning nicely in their marketing and all, but the farmers are not getting enough. Next, a small issue, not that much important issue, but the additional detail is crucial for the prelims examination. Here you see ONGC wins all 7 oil gas blocks. 5 are there in MP, West Bengal 1 block, Rajasthan 1 block. Total 7 blocks they have won, and ONGC was the sole bidder for 5 blocks in MP and 1 each in West Bengal and Rajasthan there. So issue is that the OALP, Open Acreage Licensing Policy, that is relevant for us. Earlier there used to be a new exploration licensing policy. It started in 1997 and till 2016 I guess this was working. Then the open acreage licensing policy came, and for the last 2.5 years it has been working nicely. Some improvements are there in OALP. What are the important advantages there? OALP is one such vehicle which is under consideration of government, wherein blocks may be offered around the year. So that is important, and the selection of block would be left to the interested player, as opposed to NELP where blocks were carved out by government. Okay, so that's a nice idea, and under that they have given many blocks for auction, and it has created a national data repository also. OALP has created a national data repository also, so that's important. On this particular link you will find all the differences and the details of NELP and the pre-NELP phase and the OALP now. So that is very important for us. Please go to the PIB website also, search for OALP PIB on Google. You will find some interesting information regarding the OALP and the financial models there, the revenue share model, and what is the change there. So these things are relevant for the examination, and that may be asked because a lot is going on with the PSUs, and this sector is extremely important for India's economy. So highly relevant for the prelims examination. Next, we come to the article, a weak test. The Swachh Sarvekshan data was recently available, and the writer is giving some critical suggestions here. He says that they should go beyond symbolism and adopt sustainability. One issue we need to talk here, the circular economy issue. The world is discussing the sustainable development issue. They are discussing the ecological balance issue. They are discussing the recycling issues. They are bringing convention and the initiatives to ban plastics and many hazardous materials there. Even in most unique areas like shipbuilding and the destruction of they are also talking about the hazardous materials, the Hyogo Convention there, and the plastic is the talk of the town for all the countries there. So the phenomena of circular economy is very unique. What is circular economy means? The economy is consuming, then the waste is created, then the waste is recollected, recycled, and it is made available again in the same process of the economic progress. So this way it is the circular economy. Industries are using recycled products, recycled water, and there is no specific additional wastage to the ecosystem. So that is the phenomenon of circular economy, but it needs a lot of technological help. It needs the technological basis there, and for that a lot of investment is needed, a lot of advancement is needed, and the infrastructure is the key to the success. Now when we brought Swachhata Sarvekshan 4 years ago, then it could have given big answers to many problems there, as sanitation and public health are responsibilities of the state governments, but the utter failure is visible because the unhygienic conditions and the filth and the waste, that is something very much evident every day. These things cannot be hidden. Maybe they can hide these garbages behind some big posters, and there can be some events where hypocrisies are exposed. Recently a picture went viral on the internet media where they were organizing an event for the awards in the sanitation area, and behind that flex board the garbage was visible. So it is the issue of ethical and moral responsibility. It is the issue of habit changes. It is the issue of our spirit of citizenship. That spirit is visible in countries like Norway, Sweden and Iceland, where people are very much concerned about their surroundings, about their country, about their management, and the civic sense is very much apparent there. Here in this country, things they are driven by some pressures. When some announcement is there that plastic should be banned, then for 2, 3, 5, 7 days you will not see plastic bags with the vendors, with the shops and all. So this happens, but after that this again gets normalized and people again come to the same habits. So the sincerity is actually not there. The real concern is not there. Why? One thing is the affordability. Second thing, the unequal condition, the poor condition, where people cannot afford many alternatives, and the implementation of the laws, that is very weak. If you move around to the national capital region, especially the city of Delhi, where in the eastern side you will see the Ghazipur landfill area, you will on the left side of the road, you will think that it's a big mountain, but it is actually the landfill site. It's a mountain of the garbage there. So that's the condition in the national capital. What you can expect in other countries where we are not able to recycle that amount. So live about the other parts of the country. So what we need today, in reality, the problem confronting urban India require large scale infrastructure and the creation of technologies and the investment there, full adherence to the legal requirements on waste management, and transparent technical audits. These 2-3 things will be the basis for a proper follow-up. We have Swachh Bharat Mission, we have many other announcements, but you see, the sincerity is still not visible. People use these things to do some show off there. They take pictures and some voluntary drives are always there, but you see how much focus we have given to the professional way, means how much permanent employment is given to the sanitation workers in the municipalities. They are always crying for their payments. They are always on strike in one or the other part of the cities, and we do not care about their concerns. We do not care about the machines we should deploy for the scavenging issues. So the right approach where we need to work, that we are not focusing on, and we are more focusing on the symbolism, and that is the same thing the writer is saying, that they should go beyond symbolism and adopt sustainability. So some good things are there, that they have sanctioned funds under the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, Amrut Mission, to help states set up facilities necessary to manage waste. But the states, they need additional funds there, and many schemes they need to implement there. For that they need resources and funds. So again we come to the same point, that the infrastructure and the investment and the technological help is needed, and then only we can replace symbolism with the sound approach. Otherwise these will go in the same way. The ranking system in the cities, that is appreciable, and that is a welcome move, but in reality, how much difference do you see, and in how many cities you see the difference there? Some cities are performing very well, but some are performing worse day by day. So that's the issue, and that's why alternatives we need, and the rigor in the policy formation can make the center's goal of eliminating single-use plastic by 2022 seem more realistic. Means additional goals which are there, like the single-use plastic ban and all, they will also be realized if we have that broad goal. And industry would also find a compelling reason to switch to alternatives, but the issue of affordability will always remain. So cheap technologies are the big need, and government has to focus on this issue on a war scale. Otherwise, this menace is rising day by day. The garbage, the waste is rising day by day. Only 10 to 15% is recycled in this country. So, where we would go? We do not have any option. Where we would put that waste? Waste is created every day in this country, but we are not able to recycle that. And it is surely not a circular economy. We need to bring that model in our country. So that's the issue. Important for GS paper 2 and 3 both. Next article, S.Y. Qureshi, the former CEC, he is talking about the Karnataka example there, which is very much relevant to talk for the anti-defection law issue. A huge debate is going on for the anti-defection law, that whether it should stay or not. If we say that it should stay, why? Because the party is a reality in this country. Our politics is based on parties. If the party is to stay, then the party ideology is necessary. And if the party ideology is there, then the members should subscribe to it and they should adhere to the principles of it. They should not become like the Gayaram of Haryana, where in 2-3 days he changed many parties, or he switched between the parties just to get more and more money and the power or the position there. This was the allegation there. So this should not happen. So for that reason, ADL must stay. But the individual opinion is also important, because today the practical approach of every party is like that. They are power hungry. They just want to stay. Anyhow, they want to exist in the political sphere. So the ideology issue is totally missing from the parties. That's why the individual opinion is also important. Suppose a party is just trying to save their image, their existence. So they are deciding for a matter in a particular direction. But the propriety issue is not satisfied here. Maybe a very honest person is there, and that person wants to decide about a matter in a particular way, where the party is going in the different way. So the individual opinion is also important, because he is the representative of the people. So the people should be the first priority. So on that reason, ADL must go. But here you see the point is in the favor of ADL. Why? Because the kind of incident we have seen there, the concern is huge. Although many incidents are going on in many states, here the parties are not important, because all parties are behaving in the same manner. So the parties are not relevant, and that is a different discussion. But here we need to talk about the wrong precedent that was established in a systematic manner. Here you see 17 MLAs, they defected, they recontested, they became members again, all in 6 months, and some are even likely to become ministers soon. So where are the people in this whole game? On the democratic scale, the stake of the people is not visible here. According to anti-defection law, 3 grounds are there for disqualification: giving up party membership, going against party whip, and abstaining from voting. On these 3 grounds, the speaker may decide that these people should be disqualified, because they are going against the party line. They are not complying with the whip and all, and the discipline is not there, and they are just being rebellious here. So these are 3 grounds. The resignation is not there in these grounds. So that's why they chose to resign there. These 17 MLAs, they chose to resign. So it was a kind of a loophole that they took advantage of. But later, when the speaker upheld their disqualification, then the matter went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that the disqualification is okay, but the ban for next 6 years is not correct, because there is no law regarding that. So they can go for re-elections. So now they are re-elected, and from a different party they are elected, and they even can become ministers very soon. So some are calling it Chanakya Niti, but this is very unethical practice. Why? Because it doesn't matter which party is doing this issue, but they have established a very wrong precedent, because in a systematic manner anybody would want to use the loopholes there, and they will do the most unethical thing, and they will not get punished. Here the 6 years ban should have been there, so that they are not able to get elected again in the next elections. And this message would have gone to many elected representatives there, that if they do any unethical issue, any unethical decision making, then they will be punished there, and in their most desired goal they will be punished. They will not be able to get elected. So this was the sole punishment that could have been given, but that was cancelled by the court. So here the debate remains whether the anti-defection law should stay or not. In this example, it should stay, because the unethical issue is visible there, that they are trying to destroy the game of one party and they are trying to make the game for another party, and that doesn't matter at all. Today that doesn't matter at all, but what matters, that where are the people in this whole game? That's the main issue, and that's why the debate is important. So it is all individual opinion that ADL must stay or not. I have given you both the points here, but this article was in the favor of giving punishment to the offenders, the people who are defecting, and staying the ADL there. So thanks a lot, keep watching.